Joining us today is Mr. Thomas Halfacre. Yes, sir. Man, it's good having you.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, and meeting you for the first time.
Yeah.
But I have seen your handiwork. And
well, thanks.
We're going to get into the Kiss show at Lafayette's for sure. I want to talk more about that. But first off, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Jeff has been told by many people that we're probably going to need 2 episodes here.
Yeah, at least.
Maybe 5.
You know, if you're dyslexic, you'll read his name as Halfacre.
Oh, I've heard much worse.
Halfacre.
I've actually done that a couple of times.
Halfacre. Do you even half care or sometimes zero care?
It's sometimes less than that.
Negative care.
Sometimes I make the people around me care less. It happens.
So as obviously we mentioned in the intro, that has not been recorded yet.
Great Scott!
Halfacre Audio and Lighting, right?
Yes.
So
Before we get
want
into
to talk
anything,
about all these things.
Let me say something before we get into all of this.
Dude, the floor is yours.
These
sir.
2 guys are incredibly devoted to do this show like they do. So early. It is incredibly early right now.
It really isn't.
No one needs to be up this early.
It's 2 p.m., Thomas.
For musicians, it is kind of early.
That's my point. That's insane. I drove. I think the sun's up.
No,
I'm not sure.
It's 11:20 a.m. to give you all context.
I drove here, but my eyes were closed the whole time, so I'm thinking the sun's up.
Well, we're glad you made it.
Roosters are mad.
Well, you're doing God's work, Thomas.
It's crazy. I'm not saying morning people are crazy. I'm just saying if you're up before noon, you're insane.
So where did you drive in from?
Bartlett.
Yeah, that's a good hike.
Yeah, I played a gig last night and was still up at 5:30 this morning.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with me.
Yes. Well, do we need to get into that?
No.
Because
We're going to talk about what's wrong
That's
with him.
a 5-part episode. That's what's wrong with Jeff.
Well, very cool, man. Again, thanks for being here. Sound guy, lighting guy. I don't mean to degrade calling you lighting guy, but
I've been called so many other things.
Yeah. So, are you from Memphis? Let's start there.
Yes, born in Nashville, but after I was a year and a half old, I think, when I said I need to be in Memphis where the music is.
Yeah.
But
I need to create opportunities for myself.
Right.
I mean, that's forward thinking at 1.5.
Right. Climbed out of the crib and here I am.
That's why he's so damn successful. I mean,
that's a loose term.
I saw you post the other day on Facebook that you just celebrated your anniversary of starting into this chapter of your life.
Yes.
You left Memphis record pressing.
Yep. To go full time again, back into sound and lighting.
Good for you.
That had to have been a little scary.
Right in the midst of COVID, yes. Yeah. It really was, because a lot of people were like, no gigs, old people were cutting back, and I'm like, the best thing I could possibly do, most logical, would be go into the business that nobody has any business in.
Right.
Made perfect sense to me.
Sure. Yeah, build something for people to watch that can't be there.
Right, yes. Let's see. Let's make sure and go over the top with production and stuff. Spend way too much money on it. Get all of this, trussing and moving lights and all these microphones to do a huge production if I needed to, tons of speakers, 3 different PA systems, all this stuff, and make sure it could sit there in storage and never do anything was the possibility.
There you go. The crickets really appreciated you.
Yeah, it was fun and scary.
I got to shorten that sound. Shut up.
That's long.
Yeah, they didn't go that long.
They're like, we're over it.
Yeah.
Thanks. So is it literally 2020 you make the shift? Or is it
2021.
Yeah, because COVID was still kind of hanging on.
2020 was like 3 years long, so no one knows anything about when stuff happens.
Yeah, you use 2020 as like a benchmark timeline.
Yeah, it's either before COVID or post-COVID.
Exactly. So, well, when did it start picking back up for you?
Well, it actually was kind of for what I wanted to do and the level I choose to be at, because I don't want to get super huge. There's tons of companies around that are already doing that. Mm-hmm. You got Pro Show and Sidetracks and all these other companies that handle the big stuff. I don't want the big stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of the, like 1,500 people and down kind of setup, because I just, you got more people and more headaches when you get above that.
But there's a market for that too.
Yeah.
Not everyone can afford that next level.
Right. So it was kind of one of those things where it was almost immediate, really, luckily enough. Some of the stuff really came out of the gate because there wasn't some of the smaller things, some of the, now none of the ones I've mentioned, of course, and I won't name names, but some of the companies kind of will do the smaller things, but you can tell it's a small thing for them.
I got
What
you.
they show up with isn't the best stuff.
Totally understood.
Who they send out aren't the best guys.
So the value isn't there.
Right.
There's-
So then they're like, well, this is a small thing for us. But the person that's paying the premium at that level, it's a big thing for them. And you don't want them to be, like cheapened or
Right.
lessened what they're doing.
it's all about value.
Right. So you want to make sure that they are treated correctly. And so a lot of times that doesn't happen. So it's kind of one of those the opportunities to go out and do that correctly. That part took off. I mean, so
Sorry if I get the city wrong here, but I did see a recent post. You did something, was it Collierville or Bartlett recently?
I've done stuff in both.
But just recently I saw something that you did.
Well, Bartlett, I was with Almost Famous. We did
That's it.
the Music by the Lake
Yep.
thing
Oh,
for
cool.
BPAC
Yep.
in City of Bartlett. Yeah, that was a Friday night. Record turnout, actually. I think it was like 2,000 people.
Nice.
They were saying
There
at
you
the end
go.
of the night they'd never seen that many people at one of their events.
So who's the one that's actually booking you for something like that?
It varies. Sometimes it's the band. Like that was the band calling me in to do front of house for them, which Almost Famous does quite often. They
They pull from their budget.
Right.
Boom.
They share it with me. They pay my price out of their money to make sure that they are, that someone's there that understands their communication from the stage to get their monitors right and things like that.
So you're their guy.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but then there are times the city's actually ponying up or...
That's a conglomeration of sponsors, I think, that handle that event, which it varies event to event who pays the bill.
Do you have any house gigs and actual venues?
Well, I do some things at Lafayette's. Keith Lyle's the house sound guy there. I just kind of come in and help cover the room.
He's going to be coming up here in a minute.
Okay.
He has a request for you.
Really? I've got a list of requests for him.
We have an opportunity to tell him all about this list.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we probably don't want to do that over the air. He would really be upset.
And I'm glad that you're saying that because I didn't know if you were part of Lafayette's sound people or if you were came in to help Keith. I didn't really understand how it worked.
When Julian and Cindy were both there, I kind of became in the fold, if you will.
Okay.
Like they just kind of accepted me as, part of the scene and part of the family and
Gotcha.
part of the crew. But I've always just kind of been contract for it. I've never been like an employee.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Keith, this I think will be a good way to segue into history past, your origin story. So I'm at Lafayette's last night and watching my friends here at 51. Everything's tearing down. And he comes up to me. He's like, hey, I got 2 words that you need to share with Thomas. Wichita, Kansas. Nice.
The floor is yours.
Yes.
Sir.
And I know this goes back time,
Oh,
so we can reminisce into the history.
What year
Wichita,
was that?
Kansas. What the hell was this?
Wait, what year was
It
that?
was Play Rough.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute.
Yeah.
God,
To put in timeline here.
Got to be early 90s.
Yeah, earlier mid-90s, somewhere in there.
So what
Yeah.
on earth happened in Wichita?
Stuff I can't talk about.
Oh, come on,
Oh, it was,
man!
it was that was Rock Island was the name of that club, and there's so much history there for just that venue that apparently there was a tuberculosis clinic on the site. They tore that building down, built another one. Part of the morgue basement still exists that you can walk down the stairs and see. It's haunted. There was a plaque behind the place talking about all the people that passed on the site. It's crazy. It's like eerie and cool and
It's like Ernestine and Hazel.
Just saying. I was
Go
gonna say the same
upstairs
thing.
if you're ever there. Go upstairs.
right.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of historic venues that have way too much to tell.
A lot of darkness.
a lot of stuff you don't want to know.
Right.
Yeah.
But that was Rock Island in Wichita, Kansas, and that was quite the adventure.
So you were driving.
Fans or something else there at the time.
So what are you doing for Play Rough at this point?
Lighting at that point. Keith was doing sound. I was doing lighting.
Okay.
Okay.
From what Keith shared with me, this story involves you driving.
A lot.
Oh, that part.
Yeah.
There were so many parts to Wichita, Kansas for that particular trip. Yeah, apparently the turnpike is confusing to me, and I decided I wanted to go the wrong way, and so we went through toll booth that we weren't supposed to go through. I didn't know it was a toll road. Well, we're going the wrong way. So I asked the lady, I was like, we're trying to get to here. Oh, take the next exit and then take a right and you'll see the on-ramp. Well, it turns out that we went right behind the venue, and 2 doors down from the venue was the gas station, a Quick Trip, which was around there. They're in various places. So we are getting off and coming back down the same road that we were on to get on the expressway the first time, and on the right, we're passing the club that we just left. And so Jimmy Fulp, who was in Play Rough at the time, he goes, look, kids, Rock Island Quick Trip. In reference to, of course, European vacation. Yeah. So I was
Keith brought that up too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the 2 stories Keith's got, so he's got to.
And Jimmy was now by this, eventually joined this trio of a conversation. They're just starting to give me nuggets.
Jimmy jumped in too.
That's right, Jimmy. Yeah. Jimmy is guilty.
Yeah, thanks.
To explain to you
James
guys
Fulp.
how long ago this was, Jimmy had hair.
Yes.
So,
and I did too. A lot of us did that don't now.
So how busy were you guys?
Back then, we did a few kind of one-off trips because Play Rough had toured extensively doing rock clubs, just trying to get out of Ohio and go around and do some stuff. And they came through Memphis, and the scene in Memphis at the time was unreal. It was just exploding. It was this silent battle between bands. Everybody was trying to outdo each other and write better songs, and it was a huge original scene. And it's one of the only cities you could come to back then, especially, that you could get up and play an entire set, and people would yell for original stuff. You could play covers all day long, but they were like, let's hear something original.
Times have changed.
And, but we need to get back to that. Yeah. So the guys in Play Rough were like, wait a minute, we can play our stuff, and people want to hear it, and we'll make the $150 or whatever it was a night back then. Yeah. So they decided Memphis was where they wanted to be. They moved here, and then they were writing original stuff still, and they wanted to get out and play for some other places and people. So they kind of went down the list of some of the places they had been before, maybe a couple places they hadn't, and Wichita, Kansas was one of those places. And everybody always brought a lighting guy and a sound guy with them. You didn't want to get kind of screwed over by the local guy that was that their favorite opened for you, and then they sound better than you do. Yeah. So you bring your own guys.
Or they say they have XYZ and you show up and it's fucking nothing.
Exactly. Yeah. So Keith and I were the guys.
That's awesome.
Which they met through Stage Stop.
Okay, I was going to bring Stage Stop up.
Yeah,
we've heard it a few times on this show.
Yeah, it's in the crowd that for this, Stage Stop is a staple. You have to bring up Stage Stop, and there's so much history there. I did my first show there, I think, when I was 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
I was lucky to catch the reunion at Neil's last year.
Yeah, I was covering for Keith at Lafayette, so I could not be there. But
thanks, Keith.
I knew it was very important to him. And I don't care about anybody, so I didn't have to be there. I'm kidding. I wanted to be. I knew it was going to be one or the other.
That Halfacre thing,
right? Halfacre. It's going to be one or the other, and I knew Keith, really wanted to be there, so I threw myself on that sword. You're welcome, Keith.
Let's stick with Keith. How do you guys find each other? How does when does this bond start?
Well, at first, I think I saw him at Rascals. I'm like, that guy looks like Yanni. Because he had like this swoop hairdo that was like it was so Yanni and this massive mustache, and I was like, that guy looks just like Yanni. That's weird. So it turns out it's he ends up being the house guy at Stage Stop. About the same time I end up being the house lighting guy at Stage Stop.
There it is. So
we're kind of side by side, and I was like, man, I really want to fix these lights, because Nita had just acquired some lighting. A guy who I've learned a lot about lighting from, Bones. Everybody knew him as Bones. John Rogers. He was kind of the go-to rental guy. There was no house lighting at Stage Stop. She didn't own any lights. So everybody, all the road bands brought their own productions in, their own light show. It was really cool because you could see different things every week.
Yeah.
You know, it never stayed stagnant or the same. It changed, which I thought was great.
And see their personality and how they light and sound their show. Yeah.
Exactly. And so it was a new production every time. It was really, really cool on a club level to see that.
You're also taking a risk, though, aren't you?
Well, yeah, you take a risk in the fact that a lot of clubs don't have the power to, you know, drive a bunch of par cans, which was the thing back then.
The
LED
good old
was
days.
not, yes, LED was not around, and you had like 500 watt DYS bulbs, and they're like, you know, you got to have like
You could heat the whole room.
yes, you have to have 60 amps of power at minimum, you know, and it's just that became a challenge in a lot of places. But yeah, so John Rogers, they actually. I can't remember whose show they bought. I want to say part of it was Akasha. Speaking of Area 51, Lance Binder.
Yes, shout out. Band. I love Akasha.
Yeah, so I think some of it was theirs. They had come off the road, moved here locally, and Lance actually was my roommate for a little bit.
Okay,
way back in the day. Yeah. So,
did he jump around a lot?
He always has. He always has, which was weird when you're just standing there cooking an omelet.
When you get scrambled eggs.
Yeah. So. Yeah, he could pull off not scrambling them, oddly. So, yeah. Anyway, she acquired the light show and needed somebody to come in and run it that didn't want money, really. I mean, it was incredible. I can't even believe I came in there for what I came in there every night to do this stuff. And we had to take the show down when a road band was coming in that had their own show for like the first 2 years.
At some point, did you make it mandatory?
She did.
Yeah.
She did.
Because it's too much, man.
She's like, a headache. She said, you can come in and play, but you're going to use my show.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of right around that time is when kind of this change happened where bands were like, do you have lights? Because we don't want to carry all these heavy par cans. You know, it's getting ridiculous. And grunge had hit, you know, Nirvana would already become a big thing and Pearl Jam and all this stuff. And I hope I'm not dating myself and how old I am. But I'm old. So old.
So is Jeff.
We're old. We're so old.
The grunge bands didn't need lighting nearly as much as the 80s hair.
Right. The grunge bands were like, hey, four par cans on some sticks.
Done.
And we're good.
Yeah.
And it was almost like, you know, nothing glittery, nothing, no shine, nothing shiny.
No pyro.
No pyro.
Just
no
flannel.
Nothing. We have to, flannel and depression. That's all we got. That's what we have to have. And minimal lighting or minimal production or anything. And if you don't break something during the show, you didn't do it right.
Sponsored by Prozac.
Right. So they were showing, you know, they would show up in a van with one Space Saver tire with nothing, you know. Sometimes have to borrow a guitar. It was that bad. It became from how many cool shiny road cases you had and how much lighting and sound you had to like how little you could show up with and pull off a show. And it just transferred into that in like a month and a half. It was crazy how quick it happened.
They don't even want to pull a trailer if they don't have to. Just shove it all in a van.
Exactly. Exactly. So the whole mood and everything changed. And it stayed that way for a long time. For a long time. So that I stuck around Stage Stop for a while. Finally, and of course I had a day job. I was actually working at Kinko's back then and doing Stage Stop at night. And then finally got out of that, and tours actually kind of picked up a little bit after that. I kind of got to do some national acts and stuff. I was working with, Skip McQuinn turned me on some stuff. He was here locally. He passed away not too long ago. Huge icon around the music scene here and a lot of places. Studio guy. I mean, you could do a whole episode on him. But yeah, he put me in the right place at the right time. A number of people have done that over the years that actually got me opportunities, and the list goes on and on and on and on. You know, but if we get back in the origin story, I've got a bunch of names that
I'm sure
are crucial to me being where I am and who I am. So
that's part of why people like this show, because they'll hear names they haven't heard in a minute. You know, and they're like, oh wow, and brings them back. So, I mean, there are names that you feel like you really owe a lot to. Go ahead, man.
Oddly enough, my mom got married, and I moved into her husband's house, and my next door neighbor ended up being David Shanklin, who is in. Dave's not here.
Dave's not here. I saw David last night, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Wow. So I was hanging out with his stepson or his son. I mean, he's his father. He's my, Chris, and so I was around David quite a bit, and he would go out and like RTA a system, shoot a system, set the EQs for a system for those not knowing, in his driveway at night, and I would go over there and hang out, and he would tell me what he was doing and why he was doing it and stuff like that at 13, 14 years old. And I'm just like a sponge, just soaking up all this stuff. So he was crucial.
Okay.
I met one of my best friends, Joe Woody, through dating his sister when I was like 12. And he was as cool as his sister, in case she watches this. Not cooler, just as cool.
Not playing favorites.
Yeah. But, her and I, the 4 days we dated in junior high school, whatever it was back then, that was what that was. And he and I became friends through music. He was into Led Zeppelin and Kiss and Motley Crue and everything else at the time that I was listening to. Of course, I was also off the beaten path with, In Excess and Jesus and Mary Chain and all kinds. You just name it, I was into it. Depeche Mode.
I love it.
Yeah, I love that era of the 80s.
Yes, George Michael. I listened to all of it.
Yeah.
So he and I became very good friends. He kind of he joined a band, and a good friend of one of the members of the band was Troy Isom.
Oh, all right.
And
shout out to Troy Isom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Friend of this show.
Right. He is also crucial in me being who I am and what I'm doing, because very early on I was around him, and he was everything. I mean, had a little like 8-channel powered mixer he was mixing this band on, and was just showing me what to do on, like, why he was doing what he was doing. And we had long conversations about, guitars and tones and stuff like that he probably doesn't even remember. But, me being at the time, I was young, I was like, 15, I was just soaking it all in and was just going, yes, knowledge.
Right.
So that, those two guys, huge. Also, I got around this band out of Florida called Intense. They were here for a while, then they kind of went their separate ways. But the guys in that band were also kind of crucial in allowing me to cut my teeth. Mm-hmm. Going, here's the gear.
Opportunity.
Yeah, here's the gear. Do what you do, kind of thing.
And by this time, you'd had all these mentors building you up to that point. Yeah.
So that was cool that I got to, and they had huge light show, all this stuff. This was, of course, pre-grunge and all that early on, and learning how that's set up and how to not pack a trailer, because we were terrible at that. Learning all that stuff, that was crucial and great, and it's opportunities you can't give up. So many free shows.
Yeah.
I mean, when I didn't have anything going on that night, didn't have a club I could get into, didn't have a gig I was getting paid for, me and my friend Joe would walk down to Poor Red's club, used to be here locally, you probably remember it, and we would stand out back and listen to the band. We were not old enough to get in, so we would just stand out back and listen to the band play.
Right.
So just all those little formative things.
Yes.
As long as you're honest with yourself, open-minded, and listen, because anybody can teach you something.
Mm-hmm.
And that, just soaking all that up from these people was why I'm here. And it wasn't that I just happened to live next door to somebody who was a rock and roller and great on guitar and knew about sound and all that stuff. It was one of those where I'd always been interested in it. Mm-hmm. I grew up around music. We had a lady, I lived with my great-grandmother until I was like 11, and we had a lady that lived with us that it was like R&B and soul music was her thing. Mm-hmm. And so I got exposed to all that early on.
Did you ever become a player?
I dabbled, but I was so quick to learn that it's one of those things that just either it's a battle or it comes naturally to you. Mm-hmm. And when it does come naturally to you and you're great, you still don't make it.
Yeah.
You still don't get paid.
Yeah.
You're still working at the grocery store to pay your bills. Mm-hmm. And you're only in the band you're in, unless you're Josh Haynes.
Yeah, for sure.
But you're only in the band you're in.
Or Alan Bone.
Right. And you're and
a couple of those.
There's a few of them. They should put a band together.
I don't think they have time.
They're too busy. They're too busy in bands to have a band.
Well, so Grand Theft Audio, reunions here and there.
Yep. So mixed those guys last week. Great band.
There you go.
Another person who was that I stood next to, that's in the next generation of people, which is up there with your Keith Lyles and stuff, is Keith Blanchard. that I stood next to on many nights. Speaking of intense, he was their sound guy for a long time. Mm-hmm. So I was doing lights next to him doing sound.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys that come in to do sound, and kind of my rule of thumb is there are no rules of thumb.
Yeah.
That was always Keith Blanchard's approach, to where he didn't care, like, if somebody walked up to the board and go, why would you turn this knob all the way that way? He didn't care.
Because it sounded good.
That's what he needed to do.
Between that band and location.
Like, it goes this way because that's what sounds right now, you know? And so it was never like, you know, you always mix a snare like this. You always, there's no, I can't stand formulas.
Sure.
And they kind of screw people over when you use them.
Every room is different.
Every room's different. Every snare's different. Every guitar amp's different. And sometimes if it's a tube amp, it's different from night to night.
Yeah. Instead of trying to fit you into a template.
Right. You do what needs to be done at that point for that mix.
Yeah.
You know, there's never, like, it's never guaranteed where you can just recall a scene and hit go and it sounds right.
Which is exactly why I could never do what you do.
Yeah. It's
because I would be so confused. Why this worked last night. Why isn't it working tonight?
Oh, I'm confused all the time. I don't know what you're
It's
talking
those
about.
squirrels that come in and start fucking with shit.
Yeah. Oh, there's gremlins and squirrels and everything in every system. But yeah, so yeah, Keith was great and he had some killer mixes.
He's still doing it on the side now, right?
Yep. And I remember one time it was Black 59, Sean Few's old band.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Kimmy T, if you watch this. So they were at the Daisy for Crossroads, which was the old showcase thing they used to do on Bill Street, where they would have all these venues, you know, booked up with all these independent artists that were coming in trying to get exposed to record deals and stuff. And Black 59 played the Daisy, the largest room there. And the guy on the desk told Keith, don't do any effects, you know, they'll take off on you, don't do this. And he just goes, okay. And did all of it, like out of the gate, like, you know, cranked this and that.
Good for
him.
him.
Dude, it sounded awesome. It was like, you know, I love stuff like that. When, you know, it's like, do what you need to do.
Did he reset everything or did he leave it like, this is what?
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, in that situation where I don't think he was given a sound check. I think it was just one of those where it was like just out of the gate, just throw and go. You don't really have an opportunity to go through and do everything, you know. Yeah. And this is old analog days.
Yeah.
So by the time you turn all these knobs for every channel, you're not going to be there forever. I think it was one of those where they started and he starts from the ground up and says, what's the kick drum sound like? I need to fix this. What's the snare? I need to fix this. Let me make sure I have the vocals up. Good. Then go back bass. You know.
So when he's done, though, he leaves it.
Yeah. And
so the house guy is going to come back and be like, that motherfucker changed everything.
Oh, no, he was standing next to him. He knew he was changing everything.
Oh, really? He backed off and just.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because nothing took off.
Yeah.
See, I mean, Keith knew where to put it.
Yeah.
Keith knew more than that guy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And which is funny because he's a guitar player.
Right.
Which, I mean, you see him on bass all the time, but he's a guitar player. He actually moved here from Houma, Louisiana with a band called Thunder.
Okay.
So, yeah, and they were doing all the, you know, like semi-shredder hairband stuff. Okay. You know, like the kind of the Mr. Big-esque stuff, and, you know. But just, I mean, and he also had a Rush tribute band for a short period of time, too. It was wicked.
I knew about that.
Yeah. And Chris Cook was the drummer in that band. And they went through a few different bass players, Lance being one of them.
Okay.
But anywho,
that's a good fit.
We could talk about these guys that's what I'm saying. It might be a 5-part series because
no problem.
I get on a tangent about one of these guys and what they did that I remember so well.
We're here
forever.
Yeah. We love it when our guests come in and talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's probably best for a podcast.
Yes. That's what it's for.
That's what it's for.
If Derek and I just sit here and go, yeah.
Do not forget to pick this up on the special limited edition vinyl release. I think it's going to be like a gold speckled honeydew sunburst with limited numbered gold stamping.
You gonna set that up for us?
No.
No, but yeah, I mean, it's nice when people tell their stories.
Yeah.
Other times,
I'm busy telling everybody else's stories. You know,
let's tell your story.
And we want to talk about your story. And is this a good time to bring up the whole KISS thing?
Sure, let's go.
I think we need to talk about that.
Let's talk about the KISS thing.
Look, it was all over Facebook. It was huge. I didn't get to go. I don't remember now why.
It was the 50th anniversary of their performance at Lafayette.
Yes,
correct.
April 18th, 1974. KISS, the band KISS,
right,
with Peter Criss, Ace Frehley, Paul Stanley, and Gene Simmons played at Lafayette's Music Room on Madison Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Nice.
For their first time ever in the South.
What year was this again?
1974. It was 1 month after their first album had come out.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And
that was only 2 weeks away from when Billy Joel played Lafayette's Music Room in 1974.
Okay.
So
now, were they already using the "you wanted the best, you got the best"?
No,
that came way later.
No, that was They started with Peter Criss going, "Hey, you up there with the light? Hey, down here, yeah, you." That was how that kind of started. It was Peter Criss doing that.
All right.
No, and then when they started doing that, that was Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Going, all right, that whole thing. So that was Gene that started that out. Now they had I guess in the later 70s, they had some roadie do it from backstage.
Okay.
Because he already had to be like on a riser strapped in or something.
Ready to come down.
So how did this show come about? Whose brainchild was it?
So there was already a KISS event that was happening that which was Kissmas, which we'll talk about Paul Moreau in a minute.
And I know Sean Few's been a big part of that.
Yeah. So that was going on. That was at Hadley's. And there was discussion about trying to possibly change the venue for that.
Okay.
And it came up to be a thing at Lafayette's. That fell through for various reasons. Mm-hmm. And then that discussion, Cindy Wilson kind of said, "Hey, we got to figure out how to build a KISS sign. Because if we're going to do it, we need a KISS sign."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I was like, well, there's a way to do a KISS sign. We could probably come up with something. So that fell through. And I was putting the poster up that was made for to commemorate the event that when KISS played in Lafayette in 1974, and it was the end of last year. I was like, April 18th is coming up. We should do something. Mm-hmm. So I mentioned it to Cindy and to Julian, and they're like, yeah. So we brought it up in the manager's meeting. We were discussing the Tommy Awards at the time, getting ready for that, and they said, yeah, let's do it. Let's reserve the date. And that's kind of how it started. Mm-hmm. And they immediately were like, well, let's bring in Paul Moreau. I was like, not yet. Not yet. Because Paul is a workaholic.
Yeah.
And I was like, he already had the Tommy Awards on him and in whatever else he's doing. He's got two bands going. Yeah, 2 bands going. I think he was working on another one at the time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, he will go full on and he will do everything and kill himself, and let's not make him do that yet. I want him in it, but let's not make him do everything. So,
good man, by the way.
Right.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. So
you saved Paul from a heart attack.
So I kind of laid the groundwork of how I wanted it to work. Different from the Kissmas thing where they had full bands coming up and doing it. I wanted a house band and different guests to come up and play.
Okay.
And kind of had in mind who all I thought would be good for it. And so in that course of time, Julian got another opportunity to move on to Tandem Restaurants.
Right.
Thereafter, the upper management of Tandem was looking around, and I think they had their eye on Cindy. And she also left and went to Tandem. So some of the people there that were involved in the early planning and that I wanted to make part of it were not there.
Right.
But what did stick around was the benefactor, the charity that we're out for, which was Irreverent Warriors.
Okay.
Great charity, huge in helping veterans battle these feelings that they have to give up. Letting them know they don't, and giving them things to do to keep their mind off of it.
Yeah, PTSD.
Yeah.
Is what we're talking.
PTSD that ends badly.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to avoid.
They throw out a statistic there. That is
right.
Unfortunate.
So, Wounded Warriors, I thought it tied in great because Wounded Warriors is Gene Simmons' philanthropic Philanthropic.
Philanthropic. Look at me go.
Usually that's only for me.
Yeah. Oh, I got
congratulations, sir. I think you're the first guest I throw you that on.
I appreciate it. I knew I'd win. So Wounded Warriors was his. I thought it tied in perfectly. And if he wanted to if he found out it was happening and wanted to cease and desist thrown at us, wait a minute, it's for a charity and it's this charity.
Right.
It would probably, he'd be like, okay, well, I'll let you do that one, but I still get 10%, whatever,
right.
So, but it was the perfect tie-in. That remained the charity. We went ahead with it. Of course, we were very late getting on the calendar.
Was the new leadership on board?
Yes. And I don't think they expected what happened.
Yeah, because I want to land on the production. Like, I want to paint the picture of the stage, but I still want the origin story here. But the stage was different.
Well, the plan was actually what the production was going to happen was totally different than what you saw.
Okay.
It was the kiss sign was going to be the kiss sign the whole time. That was going to be the focal point of the stage. The rest of the stage was going to look very different. We needed the stage for the entire week, the back half of it, to do what we were going to do. We wouldn't have time to get it up in one day.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Because this show is piecemealed together. It was not going to be a standard setup that had been set up 20 times by the same people that could go up in 3 hours.
I mean, you're building it specific to the size and area you have to work with.
Right. Yeah. And that was the plan. That was the goal. And there was a national act that actually ended up getting booked the night before, which was not the plan, but that's the way the dice landed, if you will.
Yeah.
And so we had to change our plan. We luckily enough, we found out early enough that was the case. We didn't have to waste a lot of time building a lot of stuff that was going to not be used. So it ended up being one of my standard setups with the totems and all that stuff, the truss stuff, which fit. It was fine. It worked, but it was totally different. Kind of had to change speeds. We still knew it was going to be a great production. We still knew it was going to be very big, a huge draw. The management, I think it was a Thursday night with local artists, and and it was Kiss, which, it's kind of like, people come out and see something.
Yeah.
And it just, without getting all the details in place and all the things that Lafayette's needed in place, we were delayed on getting stuff done as far as the poster and getting the thing on the calendar and all that. So it ended up being a cover charge instead of a ticketed event.
Gotcha.
So there were a lot of people that wanted to come out that found out there were no tables left to be reserved. I think we ran out of tables the Friday before.
Yeah.
So some people didn't come out because they didn't think they could get in, which, there was standing room and there was bar space, but it was still packed. So it still came off great, for everything, all the obstacles that we ran into, which were a lot.
Yeah, I was there.
It still came out.
It was slamming.
Well.
I was there.
Yeah. So, and you never know about all these things that happen before, like you come in and you think everything goes perfectly. And it's like, wow, that was a great show.
Well, let me paint my perspective.
Yeah.
Paint away.
I don't know this as I walk in, clearly, but what I do know is that is not the normal Lafayette stage, right? It is got a drum riser. I hear that it's going to rise at some point with Ronnie Knight on it. You could have easily just put the KISS logo on that LED screen.
Yeah.
No.
Can't
you
do
built
that.
this fucking amazing KISS sign, right? Trust, lights, the whole bit. So it was so impressive. I was not expecting that. I did not know I was going to walk into just a revamped stage specific for that show, and it just made it pop, and it looked just like you were at a concert.
Well, that was the goal.
That
was the goal.
It's like I bitch about drum thrones. Just simple drum thrones changes everything. I wish more venues just had a drum throne for the
riser. You mean? You're saying
from a drummer.
Yeah, I sit on the throne. But the throne sits on a riser.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go.
I don't even know what sound to play for this. I guess it's
a
name.
You don't remember my name?
It's a name issue. But I also did this to the show.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Oh, that happens.
It's all good.
We keep this shit, right, Jeff?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And I have to edit it and keep this in.
One thing I want to interject really quick, and we'll let you get back to telling the story, but you mentioned the house band for this.
Yes.
Can we tell everyone who those people were?
Yes, the house band was Paul Moreau.
Yep.
On guitar. Seth Kirkendall. I hope I said his name right.
You did.
On guitar. Sean Few on bass.
Anyone else would have been criminal.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the drum duties were shared by Ronnie Knight and Jimmy Falk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ronnie Knight went above and beyond, bringing that huge kit. The KISS kit is what we call it.
Sure.
Coming down there early, getting all that set up and sound checked and everything, and then having to tear all that back down, everything. So Ronnie was crucial and great in that.
Mm-hmm.
And killed it. And he was going through some pain at the moment. That's his story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But for him to have pulled off that show, bravo, Ronnie Knight.
Nice.
But yeah, back to the planning stage and everything and all the obstacles. When we were in the meeting about the Tommy Awards, one of the meetings we were in, and Paul Moreau was sitting next to me. He said, because I said, I'm going to let you know about the KISS thing. I'll get back with you. And then he said, so what's up with the KISS thing? He goes, and I said, well, here's my plan. This is what I want to do. And he goes, well, do you need any help with it? And, he goes, I can call a couple of people if you need me to and get on the phone. So you don't have to call everybody. Mm-hmm. And I said, sure, And man, I turn around, he's called everybody. He's got like the song list he's already put out there for people to, for people pick and choose their songs. They're turning them in.
Sounds familiar, Jeff Ward.
Yeah.
He's, it's like he's got kind of an itinerary for the show. He goes, well, this is, and of course he's totally open. He's like, this is just what I threw together in case you want to use it.
Sure.
Totally open. And I'm just like, dude, it's perfect.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You didn't have to go through all that. That's the whole reason I was waiting. You didn't have to, So yeah, but that's Paul.
Yeah,
he will go above and beyond. And
he was a great ace too.
Oh, great ace and a great planner. I mean, just and he's behind the Tommy Awards.
Yeah,
for the 2 Tommy Awards that everybody keeps on, they talk about forever.
Right.
The reason they go like they go and happen like they happen, he's the key player. I would say.
He was also behind the Stage Stop reunion, correct?
He was part of that
with Joe Smith, I believe.
He was part of that.
Yeah.
So if you need a multifaceted, multi-stepped event planned, Paul's way too busy. Do not call him. So, yeah.
Let's talk drum riser.
Yeah.
Not thrown.
Right.
Not thrown, riser. Yeah. So that was hydraulic, actually.
Now, is this something you built?
Yes, we put it together.
So who's we?
Oh, there's so many people on the back end of all this that helped.
We haven't had enough names.
Yeah, well,
we haven't had enough.
I'm trying
names.
to stump him. So far, I'm failing.
So one of the stage hands that works with me, that's also learning audio, going to school for it, Erin Harrell, who's actually Seth's sister-in-law.
Okay.
She helped tremendously. She came to the shop at the house and helped with some stuff there, preliminary to get stuff ready and get it packed to get it to Lafayette's. Heaven Ruiz, who helped paint the KISS sign and cut it out. Chad Lau, Keith's son, who also helped with getting stuff up and getting everything set up and getting stuff packed and all the prelim stuff. And he helps in so many ways, so many facets of bands. He goes above and beyond.
Yeah.
So can't say enough about Chad. But all these and Keith, early we had to put the sign up early.
Right.
So we could actually get everything set and focused and measured.
Right.
So everything else could fall into place. Keith helps with all that stuff. I mean, it's tons of prelim stuff. He helps with that. So the drum riser was basically,
that was awesome, by the way. You went right back to it. I was wondering if you were going to get there.
Yeah. So the drum riser, which was multi parts that gets bolted and clamped together on site.
Yeah.
And then stage panels sit on top of that, and then it raises up by a controller. Jimmy Falk was in charge of the controller, and he had never ran it before.
Yeah.
He saw it go up one time and went, okay, so up? Yeah, okay. I'm like, yeah, but you gotta wait till it locks out, because it goes up and these locks hit, and then it's there. And you have to actually physically unlock them for it to go back down, so that way it's safe. Well, he's a musician.
A drummer at that now.
Well, no, he's a guitar player.
Yeah, he's everything.
So he's actually a musician.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and damn good bass player too.
Thanks a lot.
Got him.
I'm with you, Thomas.
Yeah. Anyway, he was doing the run out of the song, and who's the big doom? He's watching that, and he's like, "Oh, we're at the end. Okay, I'll let go." It hadn't gotten to the lock yet. So one side, if you look at everything, or if you're there,
I saw
one side starts to kind of go back down because it didn't lock out. So the hydraulic pressure of the pump's off that side.
Right.
It's two pieces.
Right.
So that side's like, yeah, I didn't reach the lock. I'm just gonna, So I had to make Chad run up to the stage and hit up until he'd locked out.
What was the look on Peter Chris's face?
Oh yeah, well,
it was Ronnie Knight. Yeah.
Oh, that's the best part of that story, and what was running through my head is if you listen to old Kiss interviews, back early days, when they talk about their club days, they had a riser. There was like this chain-driven thing that would go up and do these catches, and it would slip. And so every once in a while, like Peter Criss would actually drop 4 inches. And just and he's trying to play Black Diamond or whatever it was at the time, and he's like, and it scared him to death. And that's all I thought. I was like, oh look, Ronnie's bailing off the riser. So
I mean, it was a real deal Kiss show.
Yeah, it was. We tried to make it.
You
as
did it on
accurate
purpose.
as possible. Yeah, we tried to. Sean wanted to breathe fire, but no open flame. Sorry, couldn't do it.
He made up for that with the blood.
Can't do open flame unless the fire marshal is there to watch.
Is that right?
We didn't wrangle that in. But so I'm sure I'm missing so many names, but I thought everybody did a killer job that came up.
And some of the guest musicians I can pull from the top of my head was Bobby and Nick Ireland.
Yeah,
was up there. And I want to talk about the combinations that also made this special. Mixed match musicians that you'll never see. Right. For example, Brian Penlack sings Beth with Keith Page.
Kevin Page on.
You don't remember my name?
He's been on the damn show too.
Yeah.
Anyways, awesome combo like you'll never see.
Kevin's sitting there listening to this, going, "Really?
Thanks.
I don't think he listens, but
oh, good. Then I can. No, I'm kidding.
So Brian Penlack.
I know Jeff Adams was in this thing.
Yes. Yeah. He looked great too. Really good. Paul Stanley.
Alan Bone.
Alan Bone.
I'm sorry if I'm missing any.
And then
Jess McNair, but
yes,
everyone knows her as Jess Willett. She's married now. It's
it's
McNair.
Okay.
Let's see, God, who else was in that? Patrick on bass. See, that's the worst thing.
That was the one time Sean took
Jeff
a break.
Adams.
Yeah, Jeff Adams. Another cool moment was Jimmy Falp strutting up like Scott Hall to be the lead singer.
Yeah.
Front man. It was so fun to see him just stand there with a microphone.
Right.
Sing a couple songs.
Yeah, and that's rare. You don't ever see Jimmy do that.
Ken Houston.
Okay.
Yep. He was a guest vocalist. Cool. I hate that we're missing anyone.
We're
And we
going to have to pull the poster up
and
and read the names off.
We said in one other interview that we did, got to mention Kelsey because she did all the makeup.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, killer job on the makeup, too.
Yeah.
And if you ever hear Gene Simmons or anyone else talk about their makeup, it takes them hours to get that makeup right.
Yeah.
And she did a killer job she did all these people in like an hour and a half.
I think it was probably a total of 6 or 7 that had paint.
It was unreal. And, but it was impressive.
Yeah.
Well, if you were a part of this and we missed your name, we apologize. We're trying to think of everyone.
We just don't like you.
I think Paul Moreau is the only one that was there for every song.
Yep.
Pretty sure of that. And
cool.
he was great, too. He really was. I'm not trying to blow smoke. He was awesome.
Nice.
So what was the teardown like?
Teardown goes so much faster than the setup. I mean, that drum riser was like 2 hours by itself.
And I've now had...
We had it down in 25 minutes.
So did you have to drag all that there, or were they letting you go through the front door, too?
Well, there's this little trick that I can't share.
Oh.
There's a ramp that you can actually use to get to stage level, but you got to go like around the block and down the street and up the corner and around there.
Well, you just shared it.
So a lot of that stuff comes through that way. Yeah. It won't be that forever. They're working on that part of the building, and it probably won't be accessible forever, but it has been.
So that helped.
So where's the drum riser now?
The great part about that is that how that came to be. I don't know who was playing, like Seether or Buck Cherry. I don't remember what band it was, but I showed up after my gig at the end of the night, and these guys are about to load out, and they got like 6 guys about to lift this rack off of the stage onto ground level so they can go out the front door with it. And it's like 1,000 pounds or something. It's crazy. I'm like, why y'all doing that? Why don't you just use the ramp? And they're like, you have a ramp? And I was like, I don't, but there's one we can roll this down if you got a minute. You know, it's like, well, take 10. We don't want to lift this thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, follow me. So I just need 2 guys. Just, y'all push. And so they pushed this thing. We went through and we got around to the ramp and everything. Came down the sidewalk to the trailer. And they're like, why did we not know about this earlier?
Right.
You know how there's 3 people still in the hospital from this wreck. And so Keith's like, where was there a ramp? You're the house guy.
He didn't even know.
Here. Yeah, so now it's like it's abused all the time. Everything he brings in the building goes that way. But yeah, not to throw Keith under the bus.
No.
But he didn't know. Well, as long as we're bad-mouthing everybody, sure, let's throw it out there.
Yeah, who do you hate?
Yeah, there's a list. No, I don't hate anybody.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Who do you strongly dislike?
We don't want to go down that. Like that's its own episode.
Understood.
On itself. No, I actually don't even hardly dislike anybody.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, and it's funny because even the people that I'm like, oh no, do I have to work with them? And it won't be because of their, musician skills or, their quality of equipment or anything like that. It'll just be like, oh, they like to talk about this and I don't want to talk about that. Or just whatever, it's like just anything. Because I'm just so like, I'm pretty passive and I'm cordial to almost everybody.
You are?
But I'll get annoyed so easily. It's like so easy for me to get annoyed.
Well, you didn't get annoyed with me. The one time that I've worked with you was with the first show we did as Contraband.
Ah, yes.
And that was a private show, and you were amazing helping
Thanks.
me do all the stupid stuff that I don't know how to do. And you didn't get annoyed with me, so you got some pretty good
maybe
patience.
he did.
And he just didn't let on.
Well, I've learned, and this is, I think, key to our future, is that when I have an opportunity to work and instruct youth, you take it.
Yeah.
And you share information. Sometimes they don't want information. Sometimes it's just like, and it's everything from, how to take a wireless mic off the microphone so you don't punch yourself in the mouth when you're doing it, to why you want that in your monitor, but you don't want that in your monitor.
You're giving back, too, because that's what you got.
Right. So that whenever you have an opportunity to mentor or to instruct by just the smallest thing, just in passing, I mean, it's something that sticks with them forever sometimes. I mean, you don't even realize you forget it 5 minutes after you say it. But for them, it's like, nope, I've heard from this guy, you do this. And it helps them out in the future.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you go behind that and say, and there's no rules.
Right.
So you can forget everything I just said. They remember that too.
Yeah. Shout out to Keith Blanchard.
Yeah. No rules.
No rules.
Just start twisting knobs, my friend.
Hey, whatever sounds good in that
Make
place.
it sound right.
Yeah. Well, as we get close to the end here, where are we presently now? What's it look like for you and your business? How many different venues? What are some of the jobs you've been doing lately, and where do you see this going for you?
I do a lot of private events. I do, speaking of working with youth, I do some like vocal academy recital things.
Okay.
For some people. There's Megan McNeely and Erica Cobb and Serena Wages that do their recital. Mandy Thomas was doing a recital yearly. I don't know if she's what her teaching status is at the moment, but I just did the one with Erica and Serena and Megan, and they do that at BPAC with their students. They each have their own students they teach, and they come together to do one large show. And man, some of these kids, you're like, how old is this person? Because they are wailing. Holy moly, they're that good, and they're 15.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to help them and encourage them, because you don't want a talent like that to be working at Target at 30 when they should have a record deal and be recording music.
Right.
But I do that. I do those. I do there's a couple of 5K runs and things like that. I do the audio for the finish line and the starting line. There's a number of kind of regimented corporate events that happen over and over every year. That I'm lucky enough to be brought in because the people that run it go, that's our guy, So I'm lucky enough to have that repeat business that it keeps it afloat year after year.
And then you pepper in the special events.
Right.
Yeah.
And that affords me to do things that I will make, that who knows if I'll make a dime off of, like the KISS thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, for me, that was one of the goals in owning my own equipment, is I wanted to do it the way I want to do it, and I'll do these small things in small rooms, and I'll bring in my 2 work boxes. They're like this big and full of drawers and all that stuff. And they're like, you bring a lot of crap. I'm like, yeah, but I might need something in that drawer. And I lived my life for many years, even on the big tours I've done with, national acts, that I needed this particular thing, and it wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I decided to bring everything with me every single time. So, somebody's doing a backyard barbecue, and I've got, $80,000 worth of equipment there because I just want to. So, yeah.
So is the KISS show going to be an annual event now?
So many people have asked that. And
I say it facetiously because it's so much fucking work.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'll say this. I can be talked into almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try anything twice. But it's really difficult to do a 50th anniversary twice.
I understand.
Yeah, it's not as special. 51st. It gets watered down. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
we can do a 55th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know that there'll be one yearly.
Yeah.
It won't be
to that level.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm over the top. That's the Jim Carrey line from the Batman movie. Is that over the top? I never can tell.
If you do it again at that level, will you still put Jimmy Fulp on the drum riser controller?
No.
Okay.
I will not. And and what's funny about that is he's not going to be offended in the least. He'll be like, I didn't want to do it in the first place. I'm like, crap, I'm trying to sing Black Diamond. You got me over here messing with a freaking lift. What are you doing?
If you need a place for the KISS sign, the wall behind Derek, pretty much it would fit right there.
Yeah. So what I love is that on occasion I'll have somebody come out and help me at the storage place or something that's not familiar with everything I've done. And it's happened a few weeks ago, and I was moving some cases around and some truss. I was like, make sure the KISS sign doesn't fall. And they're like, huh? KISS sign? Why do you have a KISS sign? Do you work with KISS or something?
I'm just a fan.
Yeah.
Just an Uber fan, yeah.
I'm just waiting to get my bedroom done so I can put it up. Yeah.
The man cave.
Right.
Exactly.
But it's 10 feet wide. Yeah. It's a commitment.
Oh, yeah.
I bet Sean Few would figure out a way to put that in his house.
Oh, yeah.
I was really waiting for one of those guys, either Sean Few or Jimmy or somebody, to go, hey, how attached are you to that sign? It might fit in my truck, or something. Yeah. And no one wanted it.
Really?
I think they knew the amount of work that was put into it, and they didn't want to get throat punched.
I think there's a lot of wives that have been like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, that was the thing. That's who you have to sell it to, is the wife.
Yeah. Yes.
But I will say this: it's just plywood.
Yeah,
it looks
fantastic. That sign is just plywood.
You wouldn't know that from the floor.
10 people, at least, walked back to me during the show while I'm trying to mix and cue lighting and stuff, and Chad was helping with video and lighting, and Aaron was back there trying to help cover, and my friend Eileen Quo was there, which when I ran up the stage, she had to man the desk for a minute while we were doing our thing, and so many people helped out. But while all this is going on, people are coming back there asking me how the sign, how are you doing the sign? What's the sign made? I'm like, busy guy. Give me a minute.
Can't talk right now.
Yeah, come on.
And this is when you get annoyed.
Right, which is...
Socially.
It happens.
It happens.
So, that, it's just plywood.
Yeah.
It's plywood with a laser projector hitting it.
Nice.
That's all it was.
Wow.
Well, it looked fantastic.
It looked amazing. From my perspective.
It worked out. I mean, I think everybody that I wanted to impress got impressed. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to do something different that you aren't going to see. And my goal, if you ever get to pull off something where people don't know how you did it, or they think you did it a certain way, which is, I'm going to segue into something here in a second about that. That's my favorite. That's my favorite thing to do. So speaking of that, I did a production back in 2018 that they didn't expect. Same thing where somebody walks in and goes, okay, I did not expect that.
At Lafayette's?
Not at Lafayette's. This was at TheaterWorks for New Moon Theater. Mm-hmm. It was Lizzie the Rock Musical, and they brought me in to do some rock lighting, which they thought was going to be some 12 LED pars in the back blinking blue, green, and red, and that was it.
Yeah.
They had no idea what I was going to bring in. It was way over the top for what they expected. and they loved it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, why? No, it was just like, holy, like it was.
They played along with it. Yeah.
So it kind of, and that was their first musical for New Moon, and it put it over the top. We're doing it again.
Okay.
This October. It's going to open at TheaterWorks, and it's Lizzie the Rock Musical. It's a fun rock show. It's the same ensemble that did it for the first time. Killer singers, fun songs. It's hilarious.
Cool.
Good deal.
It's a bit dark because it's the story of Lizzie Borden.
Sure.
And the stories if she had actually killed her parents. Everybody thinks she did. We don't know. It's probable she did. But it's that story set to rock music. Okay. And it's great. It's fun. It's campy and great talent in it. I'm doing production for it.
Nice.
It's going to be fun. So check that out.
Is it one night only or
no? 3-week run.
Okay.
And it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Nice.
In October.
Okay.
But yeah, New Moon Theater. If you Google it, you can find it.
Awesome.
And it's at TheaterWorks. Check that out. First time we did it. There's a scene. I'm going to give it away, so I won't get asked again. But a friend of my daughter, who also helps tremendously. She did not help with the Kiss show, but she helps with every other thing I do. Megan, and my bonus daughter, Kaylin, who doesn't like to lift stuff, but she helps. Megan's been doing stage hand work and stuff. I have to throw a shout out to her because she would, I would be amiss not to.
Hi, Megan.
Yeah, good job.
So yeah, she helps with a lot of stuff
and
that
Caitlin.
You see, and Kaylin. So yeah, but they're the ones that annoy me at home. So the in the show, one of her friends had come to see the show, and there's a scene in it where the main character is supposed to be reading from a book of poisons, and the book is actually the Japanese paper fan book, where when you open it, it's a paper fan shield.
Yeah.
Right.
And it lights up. Well, when she opens the book, it's pink. And all the stage lighting is pink. Well, she closes the book and all the stage lighting fades to blue. And when she opens the book again, it's blue. So she closes it and then all the stage lighting fades to green. She opens it again, it's green.
Okay.
Now, this is just this little book. I mean, it's like that thin. It's yay big, not very big. And when she opens it the last time, it's kind of doing a multicolor thing, and then the lights just change and start to move. But that kid that my daughter was in theater class with was freaking out because he was trying to learn technical stuff. And he's like, how did you do the book? Because there was no room for a DMX controller. There was no wireless thing. There was no space. It was like, and it was changing with the scene. So he's like, how did you do that? And I didn't tell him for the longest time because I was like, yeah, trade secret. And he was like, I think he went home and Googled the smallest DMX controller you could find and all this stuff and battery power and stuff. And it was just the book itself was set to do that. Yeah. Just when you open it, it turned this color, next this one. And so we watched the pattern of the book and then set the lighting scenes to match that pattern.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Not nearly as complex as you made it look.
Right. Yeah. Real simple. And
just like the Kiss sign.
Yeah. Yeah, and all the theater stuff is actually set to cues. So when you see the first show and the scenes that are happening during the show, the last show is going to look exactly the same.
Yeah,
no one's doing what they call busking. So, and a lot of the major tours are done that way. The lighting consoles are set up to where when they start the song, you hit go, and in chorus you hit go, and then verse go, and it's the same over and over and over again. It's the same scene, and there's numerous reasons for that because first off, sometimes the band and the crew are dependent on particular lights being in a particular place at a particular time. It's especially crucial in theater because they play into the scene.
Yes.
The lighting changes with the scene to match the scene, so it's all cue-based. So we're able to nail that every time because it's going by cue that's never going to change.
Yeah. My daughter opened my eyes to theater because she's on the high school crew here in Hernando. So I've obviously now going to shows. It's remarkable what these kids can do. And earlier you were saying you've seen these kids that are just amazing singers and performers. It is so fun to watch and see. And then it's also the students running the show, the lights and the sound and everything.
Houston High School, Kel Christie, who's actually directing the Lizzie production. She's a teacher out at Houston for theater, and she called me in because she wants some moving lights for their Mamma Mia production 4 years ago, 5 years ago, a decade ago. I don't know. But she called me in, and I got to watch a few of these runs of these high school students doing Mamma Mia. And I've seen theater people in their 30s not killing it like these kids did. Oh, it was I was like, what? Am I watching high school students? This is unreal.
Yeah.
Hernando did Shrek and Frozen.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It was really cool.
Oh, and Eileen that I mentioned was there for the Kiss Show is the musical director for Lizzie.
Cool.
Well, man, Keith was right. We need more episodes with you.
Oh, I ain't even started
So-
yet. I ain't even gotten into like all the stuff I want to do locally and all the stuff that I think needs to happen locally and all the original music we need to push.
Come back next year.
For sure.
I can come back next week. It's
We
a lot of stuff.
we tell a lot of guests that they are welcome to
Yeah.
be recurring guests, and you are certainly one of those.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Thomas and Keith together.
And I think that's a great idea.
That's so mean.
That's what needs to happen. Keith,
Come on.
Jeff has tried to get you on the show.
I did.
Yeah, I don't think he will. He's like,
He told me he was super busy and that when he steps away from work,
Yeah.
he just really doesn't want to do anything.
Like Thomas isn't
that
super
and
busy. right?
microphones have teeth.
Yeah. That's all right. Keith can come in and be the eye candy.
That's right.
That's-
It's usually Jeff. He needs a break from that.
Right. He could do it.
Yeah.
Well, before our official goodbye to you, sir, to the audience, thank you for catching this episode of the Rhythm Section, a Memphis music podcast. Our band sponsors, quite simply, are Our Fuel, Jeff.
Yep.
And where can people find us?
Yeah, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Rhythm Section Pod, and the website is therhythmsectionpod.com.
And remember to join us for our exclusive Sunday replay series where we bring back all of your favorite interviews on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Thomas will be somewhere around September 2025 by the time it circles back around, but hey, you'll catch it then.
5-part series.
And of course, our tip bucket. This is a way to try to, get more fuel for this cause here. So you'll find links in the description where you can, or you can search Rhythm Section Pod on both Venmo and CashApp. And if during our intro, when you watch this show, you'll see some QR codes on the screen. Feel free to zap those.
Yeah.
Throw us a buck or two if you feel it in your heart.
Thomas, man, we really enjoyed having you, and I wish we could keep going all day.
I got so much more to say.
I
You need to
know.
work on Keith for us.
I know, yeah.
A lot of people need to work on Keith for a lot of
Because
things.
if Keith says yes, we'll have you back next month.
Yeah.
How about that?
Okay.
All right.
Work
He's
on
not
it.
going to, but we'll do it.
Let's do it.
I will try my best, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, again, thanks for making the trip down here. Sorry, 11 o'clock's too early
It's
for
so
you.
early.
When we have you with Keith, we'll do it at like 7 p.m.
That'd be much
Is
better.
that much
'cause
better?
I slept through half of this show.
So did we.
What would I
Anyways,
say if I was awake?
all right.
So did it. I'm sorry about your viewership, but I know that there's tens of people
Yes.
that want to hear what I have to say,
Well, yeah.
and your viership just declined.
You're
because
being
of it.
generous.
You're going to bring us viewers. Derek
right.
and I run them off. You bring them back.
Well, I'd have to get a white van and some candy.
We'll end it there.
Get out and see a band.
Take care, y'all.
See ya.
Oh.